This video will take you through the best practices workshop offered in the fall of 2013, Life in the Cloud, offering tips for using Chromebooks here at Noble. The workshop lecture covered these topics. Teachers were emailed and asked what kind of topics they needed to cover, and these are the ones that came back, and this is what this lecture will cover through. By the way, the graphic you're looking at was created in one of the apps on your Chromebooks. This is called Mind Map. It's a very simple, very effective way to make mind maps. For more information, you can go to Chromebook at msid60.org or at the Technology is Learning site and click on Resources. On each resources, you'll find Chromebook tutorials, videos that I create in order to get across the information about Chromebooks. Okay, printing is an issue, and there are two ways to think about printing. If you've got a document in your drive, the easiest way to print is to click on the icon, the little print icon that shows up on your screen when you finish your document. When you click there, you'll be asked to pick a printer. You click Change, and by clicking Change, a list of printers will appear. If you don't see the printer that you want, if it's on your list but perhaps on the bottom of the page, you can search for printers here and find where you'd like to go. Another feature that we have in our printing is being able to print directly from your MacBook. Now we're getting away from the Command P that we used to do because we're doing cloud printing now. And if you go to www.google.com/cloudprint, put that in your Chrome, and then I would bookmark. By going there, you'll see a window pop up, and the top left of the window, you'll see the word print. Clicking print, you'll be asked to upload a file to print. Basically, it's saying, on your computer, what would you like to print? The nice thing about this printing feature is that when the printer is chosen and the document is printed, the document is turned into a PDF and then printed to the printer. The benefit there is if, for instance, you have a Pages document with a lot of formatting, we found that trying to export Pages to Word and then upload to Google Drive tends to lose that formatting. This way, the Pages document is converted right to a PDF and printed, and we're seeing very good luck with these kinds of results. When you go to Cloud Print, this is the screen that will appear, and from this screen, you can do several things. You can check your print jobs. These are jobs that I've printed recently. You can see they printed successfully. You might see the word queued or in progress over here. It means you're waiting until the print job is finished. If queued or in progress stays for more than about 30 seconds, and probably there's something wrong, you might want to check on the server and see what's happening. If you'd like to clean out this list, I only have 4 in here now, but earlier today I had many, many more. Simply highlight the document that was printed and click delete, and you can delete those documents. One word of advice: if there is a problem with the print server and you're queued for a long time with a document that's somewhat sensitive, well, when that print server is turned back on, that document is going to print. So you might want to delete the document while the print server is down and reprint later on. While the server is down, just another note, you need not say print again. If your print job is in this list, it's going to print when the server comes back. On your Chromebook now, on the bottom right corner of your screen, you'll find status area. By clicking on the status area window, a window will pop up that gives you some options that are going to make life easier for you and your Chromebook. If I click on the sign out part of that window, I am logged off of my Chrome account. What that means is any tabs that I had opened would be closed, and I'd have to log back in and start from scratch. If I want to shut down my computer, I'll use this button, or I could use the button on the keyboard that looks just like this to completely shut the computer off. And it's recommended that you do the shutdown at least once a week, just to refresh the memory on your Chromebook, and some processes that are going on in the background that might be slowing things down will be ceased, and your Chromebook will run that much better. Clicking on the lock simply locks your screen. It's the same thing as closing your Chromebook and then reopening it. You have to log back in, but all of your tabs in any place that you are working will still be there once you log back in. Actually, it's not logging in, I'm sorry. It's getting past the lock screen. You can find a lot of help by clicking on the question mark. Google has put together a help page. It's very, very good. Most of the questions we get about Chromebooks, we find the answers on the help page, that they're written in language that everybody can understand. Geek talk is not used so much. So it's a nice resource when you have questions on Chromebook. If you'd like to set your Chromebook to be a little more friendly to you, go to settings. When you click on settings, your screen will show all the settings, and I've kind of broken the screen apart here. Top left corner, you'll see the Chrome OS, and then history, extensions, settings. History is just that. It shows you what web page you visited, and if you've been to a web page half an hour ago and forgot what it was, you'll find it here. Extensions allows you to control those extensions that are running on your computer, things like text-to-speech or having your Gmail make some kind of a noise when it comes in. Those are all extensions running on your Chromebook, and you can turn them on and off through this section of settings. And clicking on settings itself, you'll be able to find the settings that will help you configure your Chromebook the way you'd like. If you go to the device, you'll be scrolling down to the device setting. You'll see a touchpad button. And this is something you might or might not want to do. By default, this enable tapped click is checked. And what that means is your mouse pad is very, very, very sensitive. So if you just touch it, you'll be able to move around your screen. And some people find that to be a bit irritating. If you unclick the enable tap to click, your mouse pad is to be much more like your MacBook. And it takes a little more force to move around the screen, but it's a little, you know what you're doing, and it doesn't quite bounce around as quickly. You can see that I've done that, and that works for me. On the bottom of your settings window, scroll to the bottom, you'll see Show Advanced Settings, and there are two that you might want to be aware of. The web content one, where if you find that the font size is just too small on your Chromebook, you can change this font size from medium to larger. You can zoom the page size there as well. The other thing you might want to be looking at here in the advanced settings is the on startup. You can set the pages that will start up, that will show when your computer starts up each time. If you want to have it just go to your mail or just go to your Infinite Campus, you can tell it to do that and set that to be more personal than what you have currently. I was also asked to look for keyboard shortcuts, and what you can do on your Chromebook is hold down simultaneously the Control, Alt, and question mark keys. A shadowy keyboard will appear on your screen, and you can see here that the Control key is blue. That means I held Control key down with this keyboard on my screen, and the buttons that light up with the white text tell you what the Control key actually controls for shortcuts. For instance, Control, and this button on the top middle is take a screenshot. You can also hold down the Shift key, the Alt key, Shift Control, and Control Alt to see which of these keys will light up that are controlled by those for shortcuts. Hapara is on the way. We'll be getting it in a few weeks from the date of this workshop. Just to review what Hapara does, it will allow you to view all of your students' documents. So if they have documents that they've written for you, you'll be able to see them underneath their names here. You can search here for a document. So the wise thing to do might be if you're assigning a document or a paper on the Lord of the Flies, say make sure that everybody has titled it with Lord of the Flies in the title. You could click search in here for Lord of the Flies, and then all of the Lord of the Flies documents will appear underneath the kids' names. You can find them much easier. Also in sharing in the Hapara system, you'll be able to create documents that kids can use directly without having to file, make a copy. They'll be able to type directly on the document you gave them, and that won't change the original. The remote control feature will allow you to see what your students are looking at on their computers while you're teaching a lesson and X them out of websites they perhaps shouldn't be at. If they're on Twitter, you can just click the X and they'll be gone. Class info section will give you class lists and mailing lists already made for you. Hapara, once rolled out, the issue will be what if a student changes sections. What we're going to do is every Friday, we're going to do a refresh of the system, so on every Friday the system will be accurate for any student the section changes. The Chromebooks are web-based, and if there are times when students need to work offline, when they're not on the network, they need to set their computers up beforehand for that to work. To set up the drive, simply go into Drive, and underneath Drive you'll see My Drive, Share with Me, etc., and More is the part you want to get to and click on. When you click on More, you'll see Offline. Click on Offline. And a window will open up saying that two things need to be done, one of which has already been done. We've installed the web app on the Chromebooks, and all students will need to do is click Enable Offline. What will happen is their computer will sync all of their Google Drive documents, actually store them on the solid state drive that's in their Chromebook, and they'll be able to work on those documents offline um, whenever they're away from a network. You can also do offline for the Gmail. Here you'll have to go to the Chrome Web Store, type in offline apps, choose the Gmail offline app, and when you install that, you'll be asked to click Allow Offline Mail, and it will sync all the mail that is currently in your mail system while you're online and make it available to you offline. You can answer those emails offline, and those answers will be sent when you come back to a network. Wise idea is to take the offline Gmail and bookmark it. That way you can get to it when you need to if you're ever offline. A word about apps. We've lost the MacBooks for student use and that great suite of software we had on there, so we need to find apps to replace those. The Google apps are there, and they will be there forever and a day. We're committed to Google, and so if you're worried about apps going away, these will not. I know a lot of people using documents and presentation is something that I think people are starting to get involved with. And I know we have this love affair with Keynote, but presentation is where we're living now. And I want to talk about presentation just a little bit to talk through some of the features of it. Presentation is your basic meat and potatoes kind of a program. It's there for text and images and animations. Animations being allowing words to appear on the screen when you want them to. It also allows videos placed onto slides, and the only kind of video you can place on a slide is a YouTube video. Music, unfortunately, is not part of the picture in Google presentation. You cannot add music to a slide or as a background to a whole presentation. It's just the way it is. And one of the nice features of Google presentation is the research function. Let's say I'm doing a presentation on animations, and I've made a slide with the word animations on it. By highlighting that word and then clicking on the toolbar research, that word animations will be put into basically the Google search engine. You'll see over on the right hand side of your screen a window that looks like this with images, videos, scholarly articles, quotes, and dictionary definitions of the word animations. If you don't want everything on the screen on the right, you can click on, let's say, just images and find the images of animations. If you find one you'd like to use on your slide, it's a matter of just dragging the image onto the slide from the right hand corner, and the image will appear on the slide with the URL that it came from. A word about the scholarly articles. By clicking here, you'll find abstracts of very scholarly articles related to your topic. You can go online to those articles, read them, and if information is used from that article in this presentation, by coming back to Scholar and finding that article again, you can actually click Insert, and that will insert the MLA citation for the article onto the slide. Videos, we obviously have lost iMovie from the MacBook, but WeVideo and Pixorial are two very good video apps that are bundled onto your Chromebooks and student Chromebooks as well. Nice features about these two is that they both are pretty straightforward and intuitive as far as the interface and how to use them, and you can save videos created into Google Drive, so students can save their video on Google Drive and share with you. One difference that you might want to note is WeVideo allows the use of the webcam so that students can use their webcam, record themselves, and upload that direct to WeVideo, where Pixorial does not allow that usage. On the Chromebooks, what we've tried to do is reproduce the functionality of the MacBook, so the kinds of things you could do in the MacBook, we've found apps to reproduce here in the Chromebook. These apps are the best we can find now. If you find that they are inadequate for you and find your own that are even better, let us know. You can find your own by simply going to the Chrome store, typing in a search word, and seeing what apps are there for you. You simply click on the button to add it to your Chrome account, and you can go through, explore those apps, and see which ones work for you.